Ooh. You ready?
Nothing. I was waiting till you finish fucking with your mic.
Oh. How polite of you.
Fuck it. Let's get it motherfucking pop.
Oh, we just jumping right in.
Yep, we just jumping right in.
Surprise, surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I am what I am, and I'm going to be the very best of what I am. And for those who don't like me confidentially, I don't give a damn. I'd like to thank you for letting me be myself.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Room the Crib. It is episode 48.
48.
That's that whiteboard's a lifesaver.
Yeah, it's cheating.
I'm Rahmonn. What?
Yeah, you heard me.
It's reference.
It's reference. And I'm Darien.
And today we have a guest in the house.
My name is Dominic. I also go by SBC Lyricist.
Okay.
Oh, what I'm thankful for or no?
No, not yet.
I was about to say, I didn't mean to jump in. I was just-
My man's zealous.
He knows the format. Yeah, so why don't you start? What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my grandmother because as of lately, with everything going on, she's been like the rock. So
Okay.
definitely.
I definitely respect that because you heard me talk about my love for my grandmother many times. What about you, sir?
I'm thankful for knowledge, for learning and being able to grow and make my life and everything better with everything that I learned. So I'm just grateful for learning, man.
That's what's up.
You always learn that shit every day.
In celebration of Black History Month, which is a weird thing to say because when you consider like 4,000 years of history, it's kind of hard to fit that all into a month.
Yeah.
But
and the shortest month.
I was about to say,
And
yeah,
the
the
shortest
shortest
month but I'm grateful for all the people that came before us, all the ancestors that came before us that had to face trials and tribulations before us that make it easier. We still face our own trials and tribulations, but it's, considerably less than what our ancestors did. So
They went through a lot more, so we ain't got to go through as much.
Yep.
But we still deal with shit every day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Big facts.
So I guess we'll just jump right in. No, my bad. How was your week? I'm fucking up today.
Nah, it's good. My week was good. Last week was fucking line dancing again. They starting to get my ass out there a lot.
I see you two-stepping there with the auntie.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Facts. Nah, it'd be fun though. It's fun as shit.
Yo, has it happened yet? Like where a lady in the crowd maybe don't know the family dynamic and she see like, look at that nigga with the shiny gold shit on.
Nah.
And she walk up to you.
Hell nah. Anywhere we go, they know the dynamic. They know who, like, cause everywhere we go, we pretty much are known for being the ones who line dance and all of that. So they know. They've always seen me out there.
They know your wife will fuck them up.
Yeah,
Okay.
they know my wife and my mother-in-law will fuck them up. That's
Shit, double duty. Shit, what was I gonna ask you? Fuck. I do that a lot. I forget my point. I'll just move on.
How was your week though? You didn't say that.
No, it was all right. It's funny. I reconnected with my sister, and that's been awesome. We've been talking more. Family's important, and I got to see my uncle last week. Yeah, last week I went up to Jersey. It was cool being back home. I was in the hospital where my oldest son was born, so that was kind of cool to see that they're still building and expanding that shit. I got lost in that motherfucker. So just to give you an idea, when I was a kid, the hospital was like buildings A, B, C, and I think D. And then that's the ER we used to go to when we were kids. And then by the time my son was born, I think there was like building E, maybe F. They had like K.
God damn.
Damn.
On this shit. And they were still, and it's all in this, like, this, it's a big city block, but it's all in this one block. And so going back, he had a procedure done, so going back between the surgery ward and back to the room and then trying to find food, I got lost 3 fucking times.
Damn.
But what was dope is probably the best customer service I've ever experienced anywhere in life.
Right.
Like, I had stopped a nurse one time just to ask a question, like, hey, can you point me in the direction of such and such? She stopped what she was doing, walked me to the elevator, and then gave me directions. And it happened 2 other times from just different types of staff people.
Right.
Like, it was the most Like if you had to be sick in the hospital, that's a great experience. So.
Yeah, that is great experience because normally they be irritated as a motherfucker when you go
don't
there.
want help for nothing. It's like you're supposed to know. And
Yeah,
it's just I'm okay, bro.
Like, what are you here for? Like, motherfucker, I asked you, how do I get to the cafeteria, bitch?
It's not that I want to be here.
Yeah, I don't want to be here. Like, I just need to get here. Like,
that's like one time we went to the hospital in Dover to see one of her friends after they had the baby. And so I'm used to New Jersey. You got to stop at a desk. You got to tell them who you about to see, and they give you a paper pass that you got to carry around with you everywhere in the hospital. Here, they would just like go where it is. But so we go to the hospital. We can see the security guy.
They let you just go where shit is?
I said, to the maternity ward, labor and delivery at that. I asked the guy, I was like, we're here to visit her name. And labor and delivery. He's like, so you know where it is? No, nigga, I asked you. I don't work here.
Yeah.
I don't need a pass, and I can just freely walk into where y'all got newborn babies at.
Yeah, that's wild.
Insane. It's probably, I'm a black man. They know I ain't stealing nobody's baby.
Oh yeah, it's a black man. He don't even want to take care of his own.
Wow.
It's Black History Month, bro.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Damn.
That's their stereotypical shit to us. That's not how I think.
It ain't too far off though. Somebody the other day was like, now that your kids are grown, you want to get like a dog or something? I was like, I've been taking care of people my entire adult life. I don't want to take care of shit.
Like I'm just trying to kick back, just still do what I want to do, and then be able to just relax. So
the freedom to just get up and go without having to make arrangements. Like my son, even when they go somewhere, they got 2 dogs, so they got to make arrangements for just like having kids. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna tell the story of how I met Dom the first time. Him and his boy had come into our job, and something was wrong with your computer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So while I'm sitting there running that thing to diagnose your computer, I'm listening to him and his boy talk. And you'll remember this when I get to that end. And I mean, we're guys. We talk about typically cars, chicks, and money, right? In sports, if you had to narrow it down to 4 things.
Sure.
These guys were having a conversation about what stocks they were invested in and what businesses they were starting. And I was like, damn, I'm pretty impressed with these guys. These young guys like got their head on their shoulders.
Right.
And it wasn't just that, but it wasn't just the other like sophomoric shit that we as guys usually talk about when we're younger. And then we started following each other. And then I bumped into him one night with Zay and what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. At Fridays. And we kind of chatted again, and we just been following each other. And I just find this dude phenomenal.
Right.
And I wanted to have you on the show just to talk about a little bit about what you do. Funny thing, my old ass, right? The first time he called me Vro, which I'm going to have you explain to our audience that's 34 and up. And I was like, is that a gang thing? This guy in a gang? Should I be associating with somebody in a gang?
I have a story for that.
Is he out here banging?
And so I wanted you to explain that. I think I looked it up and it came from XXXTentacion. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know the whole story behind it. So like, tell us a little bit like what SBC is.
Okay. So SBC really stands for Sad Boi Collective. And that was basically kind of like, so at the time it was about like 10 of us. And we were trying to come up with like a group name that sounds cool because we all make music and stuff like that. So none of us could come up with like anything that was good. So originally I came up with Cypher Gang Entertainment, which is what now my label is going to be. But I was kind of like, I don't know, cause we all wanted to do ciphers and stuff. So instead it became, I remember I was in McDonald's and I was looking at Lil Peep, and then it was kind of like I was looking at X's Group, and then I was looking at like Odd Future and stuff and ASAP Mob, and I just wanted something to, as like a cool acronym, I could put multiple spins on it. So that ended up being SBC, Sad Boi Collective. And weirdly enough, it was also like Superman, Batman, and then I just couldn't think of anything for C. But so eventually though, it just became Sad Boi Collective. But to put a more professional spin on it, it could be Success Beyond the Classroom.
Oh,
so
I like that.
So I was like, yeah. So that's what that was about. And
how
basically,
many are in your group now,
bro? I don't even know.
Okay.
I know. Really, it's like I could say 4 for sure.
Okay.
4 for sure. Everyone else, like, because not everyone's putting in as much work, and not everyone's dropping, and just life happens, so things move on.
Right.
So
Which makes sense, but that's still dope as shit to see like a bunch of y'all coming together with the same thought process and the same goal, and like y'all all working towards it. So that is dope. That's dope as shit to see. You don't see that often. they quick to leave their homie on the wayside. Like
the only downside is just like, you know, we were still pretty young, but like we were like really young then, so we don't have nobody. Like I have a couple relatives in the music industry and stuff like that, but it's just I don't really have. I make excuses to say I don't have time to really connect with them, because if I did, then I would probably learn more. But I was always just like, nah, I got it, because I'm just so used to being like I can do it on myself, and you know, so that's when a lot of my my bros at the time, they were just like, you know, like we should all pitch in, you know, to get like I was telling you, like Airbnbs and stuff like that. And it was working at first, but then it became I'm the only one that's really putting up money, so I feel like I should dictate who's coming to record, what music we're recording and stuff like that. So it kind of like, you know, just like I said, people not really putting in enough effort really to really, you know, push us forward. So that's why I kind of. And then last year I was going through like a really bad breakup, so I just kind of wasted the whole year, because I was just like, I felt in the mood, and then I wouldn't feel in the mood, and then I would again, and I would record, and then I'd be like, nah, it's ass. So I'm just like, nah. But now I'm in a good space.
Because It's a Party on Pluto was the last big project you did.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because you made me go out and spend money that night.
Really?
Because you were telling us that night at Fridays, you were talking about the whole like idea of like, we get Airbnbs and go and record. And I was like, I looked at Zay. I was like, yo, that's a dope idea. Even just to get away from the normal spot and just to be able to do something. So right then in that conversation, I started configuring a mobile rig and went out and bought shit to make the mobile rig. Yeah. And I haven't not booked an Airbnb to record in yet, but I'm ready. I'm ready. Because it's a great but you see it a lot of times when you see like other big artists like doing their album. Like I always think of the Magna Carta album when you saw like Jay, Swiss, Timberland, and Rick Rubin, and they were just in a hotel and they recorded and created that whole album in a hotel. I think the same thing happened with the Watch the Throne album. Like they just to do something to get you out of the creative space. Because even sometimes I like to unplug the MPC and go in a different room or go outside or. I haven't done Starbucks yet because I don't know how crazy I look. Because you know what I'd be thinking? I had
you probably had motherfuckers over your shoulder and
but
shit.
I had that thing with my, I did a video I recorded a video the other day and I had the camera there. And when I'm thinking, I stick my tongue out my face. And it makes me look, the word we can't say, the R word, looks a little crazy. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do it in that public of a setting. But yeah, I told you that night, that was a dope ass idea. All right.
Yeah, and then the whole when you said about the hotels, like I've like kind of recently thought of that too, because I'm just like, you know, we're guys, so it's like when we go to a hotel, like, you know, typically there's two reasons why, and it's just like I always thought about like the sound aspect, because at least in my experiences, I'm just like I wonder like could anyone like hear outside the room, because it has to be like a little like
they can
insulated. To a degree.
Depending on where you are.
Yeah.
You got the
so
Motel 6, they can hear what's going on in that room. But like,
well, I found that out too, because I actually remembering back when I was 19, because that's when like, you know, I wanted to try it, and I ended up going to this. It was a motel because I didn't have enough money at the time, and I was gonna start recording, but I could literally hear like arguments going on like 3 doors down, and I'm just like, now I'm shy, so I'm like, nah. But some hotels, they actually are, because I saw a video of Russ when he was explaining it, and he was talking about like, you know, what he uses to record and stuff like that, and I'm just thinking, that kind of does make sense though, because you know, you don't want to have a noise problem. So I was like, they got to be a little insulated. But the Airbnb like to yourself is still like the better idea in case you can't record at home.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Even just to be able to like take your boys or whoever you're recording with that like click, and maybe even if you work on like a writing clinic and just go down the beach or down the shore or whatever to just have a spot and record. I still want to try it. I haven't done it yet.
It's pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie. It's like a rush, and because we even kind of did that when we went to Montana, where we got like a little spot, and then we was just like we flew all that way because we were meeting up with one of our other bros, TR. It was for his birthday, and then we ended up like all like recording together in the room and stuff. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun. Yeah,
so I've been to Montana.
I was gonna get there, but I didn't let him finish.
I don't know. Nobody been to Montana.
That's one of them square Johns, right?
It's one of them square Johns.
Yeah, it's up there. It's got like a lot of nature, and like I wouldn't like camp out there, but definitely be in like a little cabin area or something. Like,
right.
You know, where civilization.
Yeah, you gotta be next to something. Fuck that.
I always wanted to go camping when I was a kid. And then as I got older and realized I hated bugs, the idea isn't as appealing. But I still want to just do it.
I want to do that shit too. Just to knock it off the list. Yep.
Fuck
that shit. I ain't gonna be there too much. You go to the wrong fucking place. What you gonna do if a goddamn bear Like, what the
Shit
fuck?
and hope it turns him off from eating me.
I'll tell you from experience, I used to be a Boy Scout. It's not as bad as you think. Like, granted, we were like on marked paths and stuff like that. So,
Right.
you know, we had like a destination and we knew what we were going to do every day. But, you know, I mean, besides the bugs, like, it's a pretty fun experience. And then just being in nature and like not really having access to technology, you're kind of just like, oh, okay, like, you know, this ain't so bad. And then you might, after a while, though, you might miss it a little bit because I was like, what was that? Like 2010, 2011. So I was like, I think I had a DS at the time. So I was just like, you know, missing that aspect because my mom was like, you can't take that. But it's really, you know, you just listen to like nature and it's just like, that's like the original, you know, music per se.
Yeah,
so it's just like,
facts.
Yeah.
Did you so are you just a lyricist or do you also do you like produce? Obviously you record?
So trying to break that down because I've been trying to learn how to produce for the longest. I just don't like anything that when I put it together, like sometimes like I have it, sometimes I don't. So not as much. I mainly just like record. I'm starting to write for other artists, but it's still like that's not really something I want to do because I just, you know, I write so much and then I just want to record it myself. But I've been learning to, you know, maybe, you know, as creative as I am, I feel like if I just write for other people, that's another income. But that's the whole reason I even built like my own little setup in the first place was to eventually be able to turn it into my own little studio, and then I can have people come over as they record. So that way, it's like, you know, I still want to be able to make money, but also help other artists, and then maybe I can.
You can help them and still charge them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, no, yeah. I'm not saying like.
I'm telling you something that I wish somebody would have told me 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You can help them and still charge them. You should never do anything that you can do as a service for free. Even if it's like, I'm going to record you, you buy me lunch or dinner tonight, it has to be some exchange of capital. It's a hard lesson that I've had to learn. Even I'm reading this book called The Entrepreneurial Secret by Cedric Muhammad. I'm almost finished part 2.
Shit.
Really into this shit.
This ain't going through this book.
I feel it's like I like learning shit. So, but he talks a lot about that stuff. Definitely a good read. It's like 3 small books, and the way he wrote it is that you don't have to necessarily read it linearly. But that's one of the things he talks about, like capital and trade and et cetera. So, and again, something I did. It was like me. I was like, I want to help. I have this belief that everybody has a story to tell, right? Some people tell their story through painting. Some people tell their story through composing. Some people tell their story through lyrics and poetry. And I think everybody has a great, unique story. Like I'm always fascinated about people's story. I'm fascinated about people. If I didn't do music, I would study sociology because people fascinate me. And I want to help people do that, but not at the expense of taking an L, right?
True.
Because my studio time, my personal studio time is my rent and my electricity and my internet and the all the shit. And so you can't get free studio time because my studio time costs regardless whether you're here or not. And that's kind of how I've had to put it in my mind. Okay. Would you say you're I don't want to get you in trouble, are you the leader of the group?
Man, the word leader with me has been like, it's insane. Like I would say, yeah, it's more like a co-lead because originally it was 3 of us.
Okay.
And now those 2 don't really connect as much. So it's like, I'm like the pipeline. So I would want to say yeah because I kind of like came up with mostly everything. But at the same time, I also don't want to say yeah.
Do you find you're doing most of the guiding and directing?
I would say that, yeah.
It's probably naturally who you are.
You know, and this is like when I say that though, that like they get mad. So it's just, well, not all of them know, but like some of them, they're just like, well, I'll do this.
This nigga know they get mad. That's why I asked.
No, I mean,
he trying to beat it out. You leader, right? You take care of everything, right? You the one, like motherfucker.
No, listen. We've talked before about ego is the worst killer of a situation. Right? How many fire groups have we watched deteriorate because of ego? If somebody's naturally the leader and they had that talent, let them fall into that talent and step your place up at the where it goes. You know what I mean? You seem like a good dude. Like you're not trying to screw anybody over, so I don't think it's anything wrong with you being the leader.
But like you said,
I'm the leader in this motherfucker.
Oh man,
nigga, fuck out of here. Nigga, this is you a co-star. What you talking about, nigga? Co-leader of a 2-man operation. The fuck?
I'm the Pro Tools leader.
Fuck you. I'm the social media leader, bitch.
There we go.
We both leaders.
But
Fuck
no,
it.
all jokes aside, everybody has a role, but
that's
especially when you have a collective as big as yours, somebody has to be guiding.
You gotta,
or else you'll be all over the place. So explain this bro thing for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not gang affiliation, right?
No.
Okay.
No, not literally. No.
Not literally.
Not literally. Oh, shit.
Not literally.
It's like so bro is basically like we got it from X basically, where it's just like very rare, that whole like group. So they replaced the B's with V's and stuff like that, just signifying like a bond and stuff like that.
Okay.
So originally I got it from my friend Goofy because he was saying bro, and I'm like you said, I was like what the fuck, like I thought he was just misspelling the word, and I'm like it's bro, and he's like no, I mean bro, and this is before I knew X, and he was just like no, it's bro, and I'm just like you're slow. So like bro. So but then seeing X on his rise and stuff like that and watching him, I was just like, that is kind of cool. So then I kind of just started just saying bro. But then I wanted to like kind of put like my own sort of spin on it. So it's just like, so I only call people that like I feel like a genuine connection with and like that I feel like are really close. I call them bro. Everyone else, I'm just like, what's up, bro? Like, hey, bro.
Gotcha. Okay.
Stuff like that. So it's kind of like, we're not family, but I also don't consider you just like a friend. You're kind of just like, it's like a close friend, almost like a best friend type thing. So it's like, and that's also, I don't really know what to like call my female friends because I don't want to say best friend because I don't know, it just gets awkward. So I'm just like, I just call, bro.
Okay.
So I'm just like,
okay.
All right. So yeah, so it's kind of like just.
Kind of takes the gender aspect out of it too. So. Yeah.
Vagina bro. That's
Scream.
Oh wait, I wrote a question to ask you down since both of you are into music, but I don't know if you're qualified to answer the question. But there's been this debate buzzing around the internet.
That's disrespectful. We not qualified.
Yeah,
like what you mean?
You might not be. You might not be for sure. You might. You probably
it's an
are.
old school shit.
Yeah. The debate has been, what's the better album, The Chronic or Doggystyle?
I'm not in that conversation. Well, I know I can.
I know a little bit. I know more of Doggystyle than I know of Chronic.
I would say, I would just say Doggystyle just because I actually know that one. So
from what I've heard and understand, that both of them shits was fire.
They're both classic albums, and I really sat with myself. It's funny, when I saw the post, I refused to read the comments because I didn't want anybody's judgment to influence my thought process on it. So I always think first, stuff that I love, I play over and over and over and over and over again. Same with movies, everything. And I'm like, what album did I listen to more? It was Doggystyle. Matter of fact, I think I heard Doggystyle. When The Chronic came out, it was in that weird period where I was still being censored by my parents. And then I went to high school and got friends, and they exposed me to all the music my parents didn't want me to hear. My boy Art loved the fucking Chronic. It wasn't until later, after I went to college, that I listened to The Chronic. So if I had to, and classic album nonetheless, but if I had to pick one, to only have one, it would definitely be Doggystyle. I felt like Doggystyle was such a cohesive, and I love concept albums. I love stuff that is not just a single here or a single there, that is this cohesive, like from front to back. Speaking of which, do you think Ice Spice is an industry plant?
No.
No?
No. I feel like, well, after she started to blow up with Munch, I feel like maybe she could have like a industry push, but honestly, no, because like she's had, I mean, granted, she don't have a whole lot of, back music in her catalog. At least that's been released. But actually, and I did kind of look through. I was like kind of curious. So
that's weird though, right? Because like if you blew up tomorrow, you have how many songs would you say ready to go?
Ready to go. You want like an actual number or just as like an estimate?
Give me a ballpark.
Like 30.
Right, 30s. I can't find 30 songs of hers. And he exposed me because I was looking through my history in YouTube, and he was like, damn, nigga, get off a dick. I couldn't find 30 songs. So to blow up with only a catalog of 4 or 5 songs behind you seems weird. I'm calling industry plant.
Well, also just, that, or it could be like a marketing thing. Because I feel like if you just, again, not to have like the gender roles, but I mean, she's an attractive looking girl. So I'm like, with the right sound, but like a good video, I feel like that's going to just push her and push her. Because I did kind of go through, because I'm making YouTube reaction videos now. So I did react to her latest project. And then I reacted to the Bikini Bottom video, but I just didn't get a chance enough to edit it quick enough. And I mean, I could still put it out, but that's going to be like a end of the year type video. But I was, just going through like some of her older music videos, and I could see where it's like if she marketed a little bit, I feel like that would kind of boost her up. Whereas for like for a guy, it's like it has to be like a really good song, like a catchy song, or again just have cool visuals. And I feel like she's got a decent amount of music videos, so that could also
it's like 6.
Well, still,
it's like 6. No, but anybody else that I've ever seen progress up the ladder or get discovered, they've been doing it so long. They've got this back cat, even if it's not like unreleased shit. It just was weird to me.
Yeah, not that
because especially in today's day and age, where before you kind of get discovered and there was artist development, and they developed you to make you this great person that would go out and perform and do all these things, and now it's almost like you have to have proof of concept first. True. Like you have to be hot before they'll come out and pick you up. Well, how could you prove you were hot off of 6 songs?
Ain't no way you can prove you were hot.
There's niggas that argue me that Biggie is a great because he only had 2 albums. And this is Biggie.
Damn. Yeah. That's fucking weird. That's and like she balling off of fucking 6 songs.
Well, I also heard that she was like kind of popular on TikTok also. TikTok's algorithm is crazy too.
And that's what they said. That's what I said. The thing that blew her up was her what were the videos everybody was doing?
The Munch videos?
No, she had a video that she was doing. What the fuck? And that's what blew her up on TikTok.
Yeah, it was what all the girls were doing, where they kind of like they dropped or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I know women have it difficult, and this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but having a vagina, you can change your life pretty quickly based on some decisions you're willing to make. We just lost another subscriber. Speaking of losing another subscriber.
Speaking of losing a subscriber. Whoever that fuck nigga that left, who unsubscribed, go eat a dick, guy.
You heard us here trying to get to 100.
Motherfucker gonna leave. We was checking that shit. We both looked back and it was fucking, we was one less subscriber. You ain't shit.
Wow.
Anyway. So YouTube, you have a YouTube channel too where you not just showcase your music, but you game. You have a confessional almost sometimes.
Yeah, because it was just like finally, it was like a 3-part thing where I was kind of, because I still wasn't like over her type thing. So it was kind of just like, I really wasn't feeling good. And then I just needed closure. So like the first 2, I didn't have the closure. Then by the 3rd one, I did because like we had spoke about it. So, and then now it's kind of weird because it's like, we're like still communicating, but it's just like, I don't really feel nothing. So it's like, I don't know. So I'm like,
Darien would say that it's toxic to keep communicating with her.
Like,
because that's some shit I would do.
That is some shit you would do.
Well, no. Like she said, like, she just wants to be single and stuff like that. Now, I can respect that. All right, cool. And then she was just like, all her responses are bland with everybody. She's just not talking to nobody. Okay, cool. So I don't message her first. She messages me first. And me, I'm the type where, I'll always respond as long as like I think it's like worth having a conversation about or something.
Yeah.
So, but do you think you can properly move on if you still have the connection?
I hope so.
I feel that's just gonna be difficult because she's still connected to you in a way. Like, maybe you still gonna be holding on to that piece.
I was hanging out with somebody the other day, and we were kind of like. Well, they were like looking in like into my eyes, and then they were just like, they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Nah, like be for real. Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but so I haven't talked to them in like 2 days now. And driving here today, I was kind of just like, I was thinking about it, and I was just like, "Am I okay?" I'm like, "I don't really," So now like that's kind of like what's on my mind right now, where I'm just like, I don't even know. So I'm like, I feel like I can still like communicate with her, and like my birthday's coming up, so I already know she's gonna have like something for my birthday.
Right.
But it's just like, to separate that and like moving on, I'm just like, maybe that, I don't know, maybe I'm not okay, but like I feel good.
Sorry, I'm kicking my mic here. Darien will tell you that I may or may not have had some toxic relationships in my past.
You have had a lot.
And so I used to be the fan of, one of my exes once told me, better the devil you know than the devil you don't know. And I probably have taken that too much to heart. So sometimes you'd be by yourself and you'd be lonely and you'd be like, well, I know what to expect out of this person, good or bad. So I'm just going to chill with this person. And then you kind of end up in a cycle, right? and then you end up in a cycle, and it's good at first, right? Because you kind of reconnected, and then you eventually go back through the same bullshit that put you apart in the first place. And so you don't have any healing. There's even been times where I've broken up with a person, we moved on, and then if I have a connection with people, I'm always feel like I'm gonna have that connection and love for that person to a degree, right? And so you sometimes you miss that, right? Like if I'm telling you about this time I'm telling you about this restaurant or this bar we used to go to. You can't relate to it. You can't relate to it because you've never been there, right? So I want to talk about this bar and this experience with somebody who's been there. So then you reach out to that person because they understand it. But then little trinkets of whatever happened, especially if it didn't end well, start creeping back in. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe keep your distance. I hope she's not watching. No offense.
She might. I hope. Well, again, I hope so.
He didn't say it. It was all me. So if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at me.
Nah, yeah. I feel like that connection can be toxic.
Well, see, it was like a 6-year thing. Cause like we basically throughout.
That's a little different in a way. 6 years. I'm talking about like couple months, couple years.
No, all my shits are like 6 fucking years. 7 years.
Well, but you was married, nigga. 7 years of marriage. You ain't got no choice but to talk to them still.
No, we don't have no kids together. And I only got kids with one. And they all grown.
Oh shit!
And I only plan on getting married once, and it's just like I don't even want to have like a bunch of babies.
Nigga, so did I.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I get that. I get that.
I'm still married, and this is it. Like, motherfucker, if this shit don't work, nigga, it's done. I'm not doing no other marriages. I already said
you gonna become hoe, Darien?
Nah, I ain't gonna be no hoe. I want my dick intact. I don't want nothing to make my dick fall off. I am cool. But I am not getting married.
We have another thing in common. You're further than me because I'm just a big Marvel nerd. You like anything superhero comics. Like I learn a lot of shit. Like some of that shit I be coming here and telling you because he posted it on his story. This is my source. Yeah. Like you actually read comic books too, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a bookcase like that so that way I can stack them up. Because so I was in a process. Like I said, it's a long story, but basically I was in a process of moving out. And I was gonna get a bookcase like that so I could stack them up because I haven't had like a big like this room is like about the size of my room, so it's just like if I just like it's not messy, but it's just like I don't have the time to go ahead and like buy more furniture and stuff like that to really organize it how I want. But to be able to put them up like that, and I would read them more. But right now they're kind of just like for looks, pretty much like the aesthetic.
Since y'all both are comic book nerds, I want to ask y'all a question.
Okay.
Do y'all think y'all can come up with a comic book on y'all own?
Yes. I've been yeah.
I'm not surprised you've been working on it. I was do you know my imagination?
That would be interesting. Because y'all both are creative motherfuckers, so I could definitely see y'all coming up with your own. This nigga go. I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks. This nigga gonna have a whole check this out.
Were you like always super creative? Like even from a child?
I could say that like I can remember stuff now that I couldn't remember back then, but like I remember second grade sitting in art class and like they were telling me to they're like just draw whatever comes to mind, and everyone else they kind of had like one thing on their paper, but I had like 7, and like they were like kind of big at the time too, but they were just like it was like Sonic, it was Mario, it was Pokemon, just like my favorite things. And then I feel like I can't draw properly, so but it's like the creativity's there, but I've always been good like writing and like expressing myself that way, so I can write. And like I said, I've been working on this. It's like I don't know if it's like a comic, manga, anime, like it's like all that. But it's basically like, it's like the people I've met throughout life, like I kind of think like, what powers would you have? And I'm just like, I feel like, and then I'm like, I'll make everyone that I meet that I do like a hero. And like, if they're older than me, they're typically like a mentor figure. If they're younger, they're kind of like, not really like a pupil, but kind of like peers and stuff. And then people that I don't like, you end up being like villains. So it's just like,
all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Since you've watched the show, why me first?
I was just about to ask what power you think he would have.
You think we would have?
I think you'd have robotic kneecaps, nigga.
No, we talked about this last week. I can spot vagina from really far away. No, but what would you say based on your limited knowledge of us? What powers would you give us?
Okay. Well, I hope you take no offense, bro, but it would be like a weed type type thing. It'd be like gas powers, I feel.
Yeah.
But it'd be like a cool way because there's this thing called Superpower Wiki that I read. Well, I used to read a lot more. And there's like so many different superpowers that there are that it's just like it's crazy. So just having one power, it's got like sublets. So it's just like so I kind of like incorporate that because like I'll write out like a whole like power sheet for you and stuff like that, like name, location, like like alias, stuff like that. So that would definitely be like a superpower. I feel. Where
that sounds perfect.
What would the alias be?
Huh? Oh, like Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Oh no, I didn't know if you had already picked one out for him specifically.
No, yeah. But it's something. It's like something that I've been working on, but it's kind of like in the background more or less. Because once I get into that mindset, then I'm just stuck in that mindset, and I can't work on music. But if I go back to music, it's hard to work on that. So it's like I have to like pick one. So
yeah,
I feel like music would be a lot easier to really grow. Because once I can like free up more time, then I'll be able to work on it a lot easier.
Right.
Not in school no more.
What about me?
And then for you, I would say
You better not be wearing my glasses. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I feel like it'd be like a mix, I'd say, of like Doctor Strange, but like you'd have a weapon like Thor, kind of like Mjolnir, kind of. So it'd be like magic. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Though.
But
I'd
like
fuck with that.
You'd be in the chair like Xavier.
Oh shit!
My fault.
That's pretty dope.
Nah, that's dope as shit though.
Because I feel like you're really wise and stuff like that. So I would say like that's where like the Doctor Strange part would come in. You have like a good like handle on things and stuff. I like not his arrogant side. That's what I'm saying. That's where like the Thor part will come in.
No, I can be a little arrogant sometimes. That might be one. Brain.
Yeah, that's a.
So I would say like that, like just coming up, and then as I wrote it out, I would kind of like workshop it more. I'm like, you would definitely. Like I said, there's sublets to power, so I'd be like, well, he has this, because also like most superheroes, like they have like enhanced strength, enhanced speed, so and there's like levels to that. So I'm just like, so I have like a whole like. It's like so many notebooks at the house too, bro. Where it's like,
It was funny. I was going to ask you how you balance it all because sometimes I find, like, I have typically 2 days off, right? Because right now I still have to have go to somebody's trap to work all day.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I sit down, it's like, all right, I have responsibilities. Like, there's things I have to do to get this going, but then I have to work music. So I've really had to work on scheduling and to do everything I want to do. And then I dusted off this old screenplay I started writing, like, back in 2012, and I let a couple people read, and everybody's like, yo, you got to fucking finish the story. And so it's like, all right, I need to win the lottery so that I have more time to pour into these creative endeavors. Wouldn't that be great? Like,
it would be.
If you could just all day space it out, but like, how do you just cut one off?
So back when I was working at Fridays, it felt a lot easier because I didn't have as much responsibility. So yeah, I would like literally just go to work, and then when I came home, it was just straight, music. Because at the time, I really wasn't playing like the PS4 much. Because I was just like music. But it's just like I can't really record at my house. They say I can, but it's just like I don't want to be heard as I'm recording. I want you to hear the finished product. So I just say, that's where I thought, Airbnb. So I'm away from people and I could just record.
I know about a studio. Got really good prices. Go on.
And then so now, so nowadays, since I'm driving for Uber, I pretty much just wake up, and now that I'm getting up earlier, I'll just be working from anywhere from like 9 to 11 all the way till as late as 10 p.m. or I'll be out till like 2 a.m. if I really need the money. So it's kind of harder now, but once I'm caught up. Like I said, that's a lot of family drama going on. Right. Once I get that caught up, I'm more free because I can work whenever, really. And getting all the bills situated, I'll have a lot more time because, with Uber, I can make, $250, $300, $350 a day. Right. So I'm like, and then I could just be like, all right, I'm cool. That's enough. I can, like, if I got to take tomorrow off, I can. So that way I could just record or whatever like that. With me moving out, it would have been a lot easier because all I would really need to do is like work 3-4 days probably, and then I would have 3 days. Like I would be able to cover like the rent for the week and food or whatever like that, and then I could worry about the car payment. I only got to worry about that once a month, so it's like I could schedule that out a lot better and have more time to record. But like I said, with the situation I'm in now, it's kind of like it could flip flop really at any moment. But typically, like I'll work as much as I can until I don't need to, and then I focus like hard on music. Like there hasn't been any YouTube videos lately because of like my family drama going on.
Right.
I just booked something so I could free up time. So next Friday, I'll be able to like grind mode all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then I'll work on it when I come home Sunday. Like I'll like editing and mixing it because I want to release a song on Valentine's Day, and then for my birthday the 24th. So
okay, 25th of February.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, happy birthday. Because by the time, well, not quite, but close.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, close. No, yeah, close. That's why we gotta have a cheat sheet because we forgetting. You see, I fucked up twice. Like shout out to Dom because I fucked up the dates so many times trying to get him on the show. But I figured out it was your fault actually.
It's my fault
because when I said, "What's the next available date?" because we knew you had to have next week off.
Yeah, because my anniversary.
You skipped the day, so. When I text him correctly, but in my mind, I thought it was the previous week.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had to redo.
Blame it on me.
It was you, because I said, tell me the next day on the calendar.
Nigga, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yo, Darien tried to call me a racist earlier today. Excuse me.
Nah.
Let me tell you why. So, you guys have known that we've been on this tequila hunt. This one isn't bad, actually. The more I'm drinking it, I'm liking it.
Yep.
We've been on this tequila hunt. It is not exactly what I found. So I texted him today when I came out the liquor store. I was like, I got a new tequila to try today. And he was like, that shit look Mexican as hell. Now, I don't know what that means. No offense to the Mexican brothers and sisters out there.
It looked like it had art from like the Day of the Dead on that motherfucker. So that's why I was like, that gotta be Mexican.
Kind of like the skull.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if y'all can see it this week, but yeah. So then he goes, I said, well, I asked the Mexican. He's like, I bet you did. Because this is what happens, right? I went to the guy behind the counter and I said, hey, man. And the guy's like 6 feet tall, big gray beard, white guy. I said, hey, man, I'm looking for tequila. I had this great tequila in Mexico and I haven't been able to find anything close to it. He's like, listen, I can only tell you about whiskey. That tracks based on who I'm talking to. So he said, you see that guy there in the yellow shirt? It's a Mexican fella. And he was able to recommend me some. This is better than what we've been drinking.
Nah, yeah, that definitely is better than that other shit.
It's still not that dark shit that we found. But so he tried to assume I was a racist. He assumed that I immediately went to the Mexican person in the store to ask.
He said, "Oh, they Holmes." He said, tequila. He said, I need to know.
Being transparent, I ain't see him at first, or I would have went to him first.
Man. Nah, you know they know good tequila. That shit all right.
Yeah. If you met somebody in an elevator, right, and you had to convince them to give you...
I'm closing the door before they get on.
That's mean.
Spooky? You probably would, too.
I would, motherfucker.
Yo, you start putting your shit in the hamper?
Huh?
You start putting your shit in the hamper?
Yeah, some of it.
Some of it.
My drawers. That's...
You met somebody in the elevator, and they said, I've got $1 million to give to somebody with the right thing, and you got to tell them why they should invest $1 million in you. And the time it'll take them to get from the first floor to the 15th floor, about 2-3 minutes. What would you tell them?
Like an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
And I have it.
No, I'm just curious.
I have it written
Classic
down,
retail.
just not memorized.
You would have it written down.
I was trying to work on it. Yeah, I just want to have it perfected because, like, you know, with me traveling more now, I'm like, you know, what if I do? Because also doing Uber, because I did run into somebody.
Run into somebody. Yep.
Yeah. So I like, you know, at the time, I just felt so unprofessional. Even like with today, with coming being late, but I just felt so unprofessional. Huh?
We weren't even gonna tell nobody.
Yep. Nah, bro. I've been taking responsibility. I just feel like, yeah,
that's real though. That's good shit.
But yeah, so it was like I ran into them and they were just, you know, they're like, you know, what type of music do you make? And, you know, I'm like over explaining too much. And I'm just like, all right, so just keep it short and simple. So I would just tell them like, you know, hey, my name's Dominic. I also go by SBC Lyricist. I make music. I make clothing. I make
Wait, you do clothing too?
Yeah.
Clothing? What the fuck? You do everything. God damn.
When the fuck do you sleep?
When the fuck don't sleep?
Like 5 hours.
God damn.
Not enough.
I'm going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's like music, clothing, YouTube videos. I'll be streaming on Twitch. So it's like, you know, and I got like entrepreneur ideas. So it's just like I want to, you know, open up so many things to not only, you know, just to help, you know, more people get access. Because like, you know, me being from a low income household, I realize I see how things are for people that are also struggling. So I'm just like, I just want to make it a bit easier because even like I'm young And, you know, I'm naive to a lot of things. I just feel like if I ask for help, like someone ought to, you know, help and stuff like that. But when I was buying my car, you know, I realized, oh, you can't leave you can't drive off if you don't have insurance, which I didn't know at the time. So I was like, oh, okay. Also, you know, credit and stuff like that. You're not really taught that in school. You kind of, you know, I know people that are like 28, 30 that still haven't started their credit. So I just want to be able to have a way. So
First of all, you bitch ass nigga, don't do that. Don't do the dramatic ass slow pause. Don't fucking do that, nigga. All right, and ain't nobody teach me nothing, motherfucker. I learned on my goddamn own.
I'm sorry, he's in 28, 30, so I was like,
yeah, I'm pushing 30, bitch. Fuck you. All right.
But just to have a way for like people, so it's like I would love to open up a barbershop because sometimes my mom wanted me to get a haircut, but we didn't have money for a haircut, so I would just have to wait a little bit. I'd want to open up a hospital, and then I know with the government you probably won't be able to have like free healthcare and stuff like that, but I would love to be able to have a hospital where you can go if you can't afford certain stuff, and then maybe we could work something out. I would love to also branch into like clothing for like I don't know, it's not really like a clothing drive, but something like that where it's kind of like charity work. So it's like, you know, if you need it, like we got you. So something like that. Because also, again, like helping get a car, like say you just need a car just to get to and from work, but you know your credit's poop or you don't have any credit, you don't got a lot of money. I just want to have a way to like, we'd be able to work with you and then, you know, you can get to point A, point B, and that way you don't, you know, lose everything you got pretty much because you can't afford to or it's too cold or something. So, you know, just be able to help out just a bit more, have a place for like kids to go. So
how the hell?
It's a lot more, but like I said, it's all.
How did you get so fucking mature?
How old are you?
22.
22. God damn. What? You this fucking mature, you 22? Motherfucker, I was blowing shit and fucking getting out of no. You good shit, yo. Like that's dope. Like to see somebody your age, like with their head on their head on their shoulders, right? Like trying to do the right moves and all of that. That's dope as shit, yo. Big facts, cause nigga, 22.
But how? I might not be that mature sometimes at 47.
Well, see, and it's like, again, I don't.
He said sometimes, often.
Well, remember, I'm living my 20s and my 40s because, you know, I didn't have a 20s.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess that's the goal. When you got kids and shit. You got kids at a young age, nigga.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
But I'm done.
I'm done too, motherfucker.
No, you're not done. You're a lot of years from done.
Oh, you talking
based
about
on your daughter's age,
Nah, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about done with having more kids, nigga. That's it. My daughter done fucked it up for everybody. Nope. I wanted more kids. As soon as I had her, nope.
Damn.
That can still happen.
Nope. I get a dog. Nope.
How do you think you're so, like, you would agree that you are different than your peers, wouldn't you?
Like, I would want to say that and also not, again, at the same time. Because it's just like, I can still be, like I said, I still feel like I'm naive because I don't know a lot of things. And it's just like, But you don't
let it, I see a lot of people, especially for what we do during the day, or what I do rather, that allow naivety or not knowing to be a roadblock for them, right? It doesn't seem to be a roadblock for you.
Because I'm like, if I don't figure it out, who's gonna do that for me?
Right.
Because I haven't had like, I'm not saying my family don't support me, but it's just like, it's not the kind of support that I want. Like, even recently, you know, when I went for this first car, which was like a Nissan or something like that. Again, like my credit's not horrible, but it's not what it was before I took this certain trip. So when I went there, they were just like, you know, if they're like, is that your grandmother? And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, well, if she can co-sign for you, we'll let you leave off the lot with the car right now. Granted, now that I've gone through the whole process, I would have needed to have insurance, which I wouldn't have even had at the time. But anyway, so, you know, I just told her, I'm like, all I need is you to co-sign. And she was just like, I can't take that. I can't take that. So I'm just like, God damn. So I'm like, I just need you to co-sign. That's like all I need you to do. She didn't want to do it. And, you know, not blaming her because, like, you know, I get it. But still, you know, I probably, not to blame it on my parents, but I probably would have been a little better off in school had, like, I got to get into sports. Because in 9th grade, I figured that would be a good way. Because I already knew making friends, like, wouldn't be hard, but it also would be a little easier if I was, like, on a sports team. So I wanted to do football. And I would also be able to let out some aggression, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the whole reason why I wanted to play football.
I was on the chess team. Go ahead.
Oh,
Them glasses. Look at them shit.
You know what's crazy? They didn't have thin lenses when I was a kid. You just Coke bottles.
But
shit.
yeah, so if they would have, got the physical I needed, then I would have, to be able to stay on the team, I would have had to have good grades. So that means I couldn't have been skipping class and like just not really caring about, schoolwork. But I feel like everything kind of happened for a reason, because I wasn't just like dicking off. Like I was, skipping class to go. I was working on music, because again, still at the time, like I couldn't really record because I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have at ninth grade, I didn't have a phone until my birthday, so it was kind of just like a lot. So at the time, I was just kind of like writing, and then I would like recite it in front of my peers and stuff like that, and they were just like, "That's dope, that's dope." And I don't know why, but I never thought of like going to an actual studio, because I thought you had to pay like $500. I thought it was like, you see all the rich rappers in there and stuff. So I'm just like, well, I can't afford that. So I got a phone, and then I got a 3DS. So I was kind of like recording music with, that, like with my phone. I had like a $10 pair of earbuds. I had the 3DS, and then I had like a tablet, and then that's how I was like recording. It was
My
horrible.
nigga. I was in my car off of a 3DS. Yo. That is thug like a motherfucker, yo.
But you got it done.
Facts. That's dope.
And again, it was like really rough, but I was able, I got a little better. So then eventually I got a job at Little Caesars, and I didn't get a whole lot of hours because I wasn't 18 yet still, but I was able to save up, and I'd got a Blue Yeti mic, which I thought was the shit at the time. I had got a Chromebook, which I thought was a actual laptop, and then I was like, damn. So I spent all that money. So I sold that, made some more money, then got like an actual laptop, and then I had got a pair of $25 headphones from Guitar Center, and then that's what I started making. That's what I started recording with in Audacity and stuff. And I figured if I record in the car, because like car speakers, like you can still hear them outside, but they're a little insulated. So I figured vocal-wise that'd be best, because I was still sharing a room with my brother. So I was like, this is like the setup for now. So for the longest time, that's where I was recording. And then when I got my license, then instead of being in front of my house screaming into the mic like a jackass, like at 2 a.m, I would like drive down the road a little bit to like this empty parking lot. Then that's typically where I would record.
Right.
And then, I would just, progressively, I would, and then eventually I was working at Fridays, and I was able to buy better equipment. But the same situation for me is just like, I don't have a space to like properly record. Until now, where I'm able to make all the money I need a lot quicker instead of on a weekly basis. I can just make it like same day typically. And then, so I'm like, that's why I'm looking forward to like this year a lot. But it's just my family drama is still like, that's what's been like holding me back. But once I get that figured out, I'm like, I'm good.
So is it safe to say if somebody came to you and said you could only pick one of your talents to eat off of, it would be music?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'll say so. I would I would really bet a lot on that. But I feel like even if not that, then I would say like the comic book route and stuff like that. I feel like I could make like a good one, like a really good one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's in the works. It's just going to take a little bit. That's why I'm just like, music. Because like I said, I booked a spot for Friday and Saturday. So that way I can just record, I can work on the YouTube videos as well. And then boom. Because I was supposed to go to the Super Mag Fest in Maryland, I believe it was. But due to family, I couldn't go, but I would have loved to. But I know something's coming up in March, so I can start vlogging for real. So I was like, so that'll be dope. So it was like just to add more.
What's the Super Mag Fest? Again,
Super Music, Super Music and Gaming Festival.
Oh,
it's like a big nerd convention thing.
Okay. That sounds fun.
I didn't know about it.
I'm jealous of in y'all's generations how nerds was cool and shit.
Yeah, now it's cool, but back then you get your ass beat if you're the nerd, motherfucker.
It's still a new thing because when I was in 5th grade, like it was like me and like 4 of my other friends at the time, and we were just looked at like, you guys play with Pokemon? Y'all niggas are weird, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? So now to see that shit,
but now
so cool.
fucking
yeah.
You hear about nigga that talk about anime all day, like don't nobody care. Like back then, like nigga, the fuck is you talking about? You watching cartoons? Like
yeah, bro.
The best anime is still Voltron.
Voltron. It was.
You heard that, Adam?
Shit.
All right.
That sounds like.
Actually, being honest, I went back and watched the original episodes of Voltron, and the stories are kind of weak. They're like 16 minutes each episode with commercials when you take commercials out. And the stories weren't that good. But because it was the same thing every time. 5 Lions came out. They fought the Road Beast. The Road Beast was whooping their ass. They formed Voltron. They chopped him in half. That was pretty much the whole series.
Yeah, I don't know. How the fuck is it always a one-hitter quitter? Like,
But when they redid it on Netflix, Netflix did it justice. Like,
I'm pretty sure you watched it on Netflix, of course.
Religiously. Like,
You watched it multiple times?
I have.
He said I have.
Dude, Voltron was the toy we wanted because I mean, it wasn't expensive to today's standards, but I think it was like $150 for the whole 5 Lion set.
Uh-huh.
And then they sold like the left arm and the right leg and the right arm and the right leg, and then Black Lion was separate. And I think I only had one arm and leg set, so I never had the whole thing. So I'd be watching the show.
This nigga character was walking in circles.
And then years later, I worked part-time at Toys R Us, and they did a reissue of it because the original Voltron toy is die-cast metal. And I found one. Like when you work at Toys R Us, you used to meet people who were like you see those weird toy collector people. You used to meet them because they'd be looking for shit. And I found one and I bought it. And that's right, I took it out the box and I formed Voltron and I played with it and shit, and then I put it up. And then my oldest son, one time, my grandmother was watching him, and he asked for it. Now they ain't touch it because it was on the high shelf.
Yeah.
And my grandmother said she thought to herself, "Is that yours? Because it's on the high shelf." And he convinced her in his charismatic way that it was his, and he took it down. And he broke my shit. So now every time I see a Voltron on like Facebook, I'll say, "Hey, here's a Voltron we found." I send him, or I used to, I send him the link. Because I want somebody to replace my goddamn Voltron. Because now I can find plastic ones, and them shits are like $300 to $400 a piece.
You're not getting Voltron back, bro. Give it up.
You know, if I win the lottery tomorrow, is the first.
That's the first. This nigga, the first thing this nigga gonna buy is
the
Voltron.
First thing I'm gonna buy is
Nigga
a Voltron from the 80s. Excuse me.
Nigga won $10 million. He gonna fucking buy a $3 million Voltron.
And a working Iron Man suit.
God damn.
And the rest I'll figure
out.
out.
It. Motherfucker, this nigga gonna have $200,000 left. This nigga
Oh shit.
Oh,
Where
shit.
can people check out your music, your YouTube, your stream? Wait, real quick. Last week, Darien posed a challenge to anybody who gamed and said that he would bust anybody's ass in the shooter. Are you nice? Would you take that challenge?
What, Call of Duty or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you with it?
I'm about to say yeah.
Oh, yeah, yep. I want the smoke.
You see, he didn't even blink. You
I
sure?
want the smoke.
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay. To be continued, guys.
To be continued.
Where can everybody like follow you? Yeah, whatever. Like, where can they listen to your music?
Well, I have a link tree, but also, I mean, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you Instagram. You know, you can't listen to music on there, but you know, as far as like Linktree goes, like like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like there's like a little link at like the top, and you just hit that, and
Okay,
that's pretty much it.
We'll put it in the bottom since y'all like, where do I click?
Yeah. So So from the description, yeah.
Nah, it's been dope having you, and I know it took a long time to get it done, but
I tell you, bro, and it's just like because every time I was just like, all right, yeah, and then I'm like, oh, family, like, god damn, y'all.
Nah, but we made it happen. We made it happen.
Yeah.
Facts.
We always finish off with what your final thought is. What's your final thought, sir?
On like the whole process, or
Whatever your whatever. One time Darien told me I needed therapy. One time he told me I was toxic. Sometimes he tells everybody I love everybody. It's whatever his final thought of the conversation is.
That's kind of tough.
I don't know. It's like back to you?
Huh?
Wants to come back to you?
Yeah.
What's your final thought, sir?
My final thought is be positive, aim for the stars, and never give up on your goals or your dreams. Work for everything.
It's a very concise final thought for you this week. I will say, like, you truly inspire me. Like, every time I've ever bumped into you, right? Because this is probably the longest conversation we've ever had.
Yeah.
Other than on, like, Instagram. And just to see your drive and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish and how you're not just trying to accomplish it for you, but for your collective and your family, and you want to do big things so that everybody's in a great seat. Like, it is a great, refreshing energy to be around. Like, don't lose that. Like, seriously, like, no, there's gonna be people that hate and trying to attack it. Don't lose that, because I think that is dope to like just be able to be creatively who you are, and I think that's amazing. Like when you guys leave, I'm gonna make some music because I'm like super fucking inspired.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't make more beats like what you rap to, because I love to fucking work with you.
I mean, you can work. I've been trying to like just further the sound and stuff. So I mean, I'd love to like if I just hear something that I really can like really write to, then I'm just like, yeah, bet.
Okay,
I wouldn't want to force it. But
spread your range, man. Spread your range.
I would say so. Coming up into this, I was like really nervous because just I always like I still have like a form of stage fright. So it's just kind of like just being on camera. Like even when I'm in my own room, it's just me and I hit record. I'm just like fuck. So I'll go through so many takes of it, and then but I'm like if I don't put it out, I'll never get anywhere. That's kind of like the mindset I'm in now. So it's just like just not allowing yourself to like set yourself back. Pretty much. Like I wish I could say it like a little better where it sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But, it's just like
it just
really
has to be
like
factual.
just going after like what you want. So it's just like just stay like keep moving forward.
Okay.
Facts. Big facts.
No, that is dope. I really enjoyed talking to you. I'm really glad you got to come here.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I know your time is valuable, so because you're doing so fucking much.
Facts.
So.
You're doing a lot.
Clothing line was a new one for me. I
Yeah.
thought I did my research. I didn't know about the clothing line. Guys, it was a great conversation with Dom, aka SBC Lyricist. His information will be down here and in the comments down there somewhere.
Somewhere where my fat finger was pointing.
Yeah, somewhere down there. But as always, go back. I guarantee you missed something. So that means you need to listen to the episode, then watch the episode, or watch the episode and then go back and listen to the episode to make sure you got everything that you can get out of it.
Big facts. And make sure you follow us on everything at Warm the Crib across Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On TikTok, we are Warm the Crib Podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, go to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, hit that notification button so you know anytime we drop something. And we appreciate every little bit of support.
I've been telling my people, so y'all better go up.
Facts.
Y'all
So
better go up.
Yeah, no,
My man's got a following. This is the most famous nigga I ever met. This nigga got real ass following. Y'all better subscribe.
We definitely got
Look.
followers since you started posting. And the
Nah, that
crazy
is
part
facts.
is we be making these pretty like design posts like, wait, should I put this here? Should I put this? And yours, you went in the supermarket and you was like, yo, go follow him. And like 10 people follow us.
Facts. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are we doing wrong? And we overthinking this strategy. Now we definitely have to have you back next time, like when you get ready to drop a project or something. Come on and tell our people about it.
Break it down.
I won't say too much on camera, but
Okay.
birthday's
Yeah,
coming
enjoyed
up.
having you.
Just-
Bet.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Whoever 85 was, go back and resubscribe. I know you're still watching the shit.
Go back and subscribe again.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
We're
fuck
gonna
you.
sell
Damn.
you.
We escalated from the back of your dick to trigger.
We're just gonna sell your dog.
It's Black History Month, man.
We're gonna sell your dog. It's like, nah, that's wrong.
He's gonna subscribe. Then unsubscribe.
I'm sorry.
I'm bleeping that.
Yeah,
shit
we're
out.
gonna go ahead and take that out. Do
But-
not come looking for me, okay?
But
Cool.
until next week, peace.